The New South Wales steam season returns for the year 2023 with a relaunch of 3001. We attended the relaunch event with invited volunteers and members of Transport Heritage New South Wales on Thursday, March 2nd, 2023, which on that day exactly 50 years ago, working steam was withdrawn for good on the New South Wales Government Railway in 1973. What a way to mark that event with the return of 3001, indicating that our steam heritage is still alive and well. .3001 was built by Bear Peacock & Co. at Manchester, England in 1903. Back in its early heyday was numbered S636 of the S-Class tank engine fleet, working on the suburban lines of Sydney. In 1924, as part of the New South Wales Government Railways renumbering scheme, S636 became known as 3001, and when electrification was introduced to the Sydney suburban lines in 1926, 3001, like some of its siblings, was converted to a tender engine between 1928 to 1933, and these engines became known as the 30T class. 3001 was the last to be rebuilt. The engine was then redeployed into servicing the rural area of New South Wales, and between 1940 to 1957, it was one of the 40 30T class engines to be superheated, which is fitting new cylinders with piston valves and an extension of the smoke box. The plus sign on the engine's front buffer beam indicates that it's superheated. Superheating reheats steam, which gives it a greater energy, allowing it to perform more work and improves the economy of the engine by around 10%. Until 1967, 3001 regularly hauled the Mudgee Mail from Mudgee in the central west to Guabaga in the northeast of New South Wales. However, the 30Ts were so good that some lasted working until 1972. And 7 examples of these locomotives are preserved today. In preservation, 3001 returned to service during the early 1980s, performing trips on the loop line at Thirlmere, as well as doing some mainline trips. It had once assisted the world's famous Flying Scotsman to Thirlmere with the museum's 5910 in 1989 during the British locomotive's visit to Australia for the country's bicentennial in 1988. It then finished heritage service in 1996 and was a static exhibit at the New South Wales Rail Museum, which was at the time the New South Wales Rail Transport Museum, until it was picked to be restored ready for loop line trips to the museum's extension to Colo Vale, which is estimated, as the making of this edition, to be open by 2024. After the ceremony made by dignitaries of Transport Heritage New South Wales and the New South Wales State Government, 3001 will now head to its train from the amphitheatre, ready for its first passenger round with members and volunteers to Buxton. Before we see 3001 heading off, we spotted the museum's mini train tracks heading towards into the co-op shed. The New South Wales Rail Museum had announced in February 2023 that this will be its new storage facility to improve the mini train's protection, operation and safety. .3001 now heads off ready for its first train. Let's hop on board and ride behind Transport Heritage New South Wales' newly restored 3001. As usual with the loop line trains, 3001 now shunts itself to the rear of the train ready for the return journey. With the many members and volunteers on board, there are 5 carriages instead of the usual 2 or 3, and so on this occasion, capital carriages aren't in the platform. With shunting done, 3001 now heads back to Thirlmere.
Spiders on Facebook today. We've seen some on Facebook after that, because on Facebook a bit. I didn't want 10 cents to the code if it's going to take it. What am I on?
With its relaunch event now finished, 3001 heads back to its shed and will get ready for more loop line trips during the year 2023. 3001's first public run were the usual loop line shuttles between Thirlmere to Buxton during the weekends, as well as the Thirlmere Festival of Steam, which was held on Saturday, March 18th and Sunday, March 19th, 2023. The event can be seen in our March special edition on this channel. A credit to all the volunteers who have made this project possible, and we look forward to be covering more of 3001 in action in future Rail Around New South Wales videos. We return to Thirlmere on Easter Saturday, April 8th, 2023. With it being the school holidays in New South Wales at the time, 3001 provided shuttle trains through most of the 2 weeks, while CPH Rail Motor 18 did trips on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We see the locomotive passing us at Cooragard on its second run for the day towards Buxton. Next we see it pulling into Buxton, and as usual, we see it shunting around on the passing loop ready for the return journey to Thirlmere. After that, we see it pulling in at Thirlmere, where it will shut itself to take a break before pulling its last train for the day. Thirlmere Railway Station was opened on August 1st, 1885, but was called Redbank. It was renamed to its current name in 1886 and was part of the Picton to Mittagong line that was connected with the main Southern line until 1919, when a new double-track alignment with ruling 1 in 75 grades was made, running between Picton to Mittagong via Bargo, and is still in use today. The Picton to Mittagong line was then renamed the Picton-Mittagong Loop Line, and served passengers until 1978. Following the New South Wales Rail Museum's move to Thirlmere from Enfield, which at the time was called the New South Wales Rail Transport Museum, the museum commenced shuttle trains in 1976 between Picton to Buxton from its base at Thirlmere, a feature that it still operates nearly 50 years later, now under Transport Heritage New South Wales. We now see 3001 passing us at the New South Wales Rail Museum's main building with its final train of the day. .3801 is back on the main line for 2023 for the second time. Its first outing was with 3526 to Mossvale on the Southern Highlander from Picton to Mossvale between Saturday, April 1st to Sunday, April 2nd. On Saturday, April 15th, 2023, 3801 is seen approaching Glenfield after collecting passengers at Sydney and Strathfield. Glenfield will be its final stop to collect booked passengers before heading to Thirlmere with the New South Wales Rail Museum Express. After collecting its passengers, 3801 is now seen passing through Macquarie Fields. 3801 is now seen pulling in at Glenfield on its return journey on its second run on Sunday, April 16, 2023. .3801 now heads off to Sydney with another stop at Strathfield and will make its way to Thirlmere next day on Monday, April 17th, 2023.
Then Liverpool, then all stations to Granville, then Auburn, Lidcombe, Flemington, Strathfield.
The picnic train to Kiama had returned for the year 2023, with 5917, as usual, leading the train from Tempe. The train is seen passing through Kogarah on Sunday, April 23rd, 2023. There was supposed to be one for Saturday, April 22nd, but was cancelled due to derailment from another train operator. The picnic trains 4903 and privately owned 42107 are seen assisting. On the return journey, we see 5917 passing through Penshurst after dropping off passengers at Sutherland. This is where we conclude our autumn edition for 2023.